Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your love and advice coach, Jessica, also known as the Fashionable Therapist. And today, I want to talk to y'all about soul ties. Now, soul ties, what are they? My understanding is I've had some clients talk about this a little bit. That you go through life, you meet people, you have experiences with them, and there are some people whose those experiences are so impactful in your life that those people never really leave you, so to speak. So you may move on to a different situation. If you're in a romantic relationship with a person, you could leave that person, not be with that person, move out of state from that person, and still feel connected to the person. Still think about them, still dream about them, still desire to be with them, even though you're in a full-on other life with someone else. So my client says to me, Jessica, I've had this reoccurring dream about this man. I used to know him prior to being married. Now that I'm divorced, I'm dreaming about him again, and I'm wondering what your opinion is on soul ties. Do you think it's a real thing, and what should I do about them? So what I said to her was this. I think soul ties and the word soul tie is a really fun, popular concept and buzzword. It's a thing that people identify with and that they understand, but that doesn't make it a thing. More importantly, I think that we should recognize that people work in patterns. We do what we are most familiar with repeatedly, and that's how we get the results of our lives. The consequences that we face are generally from the repeated things that we do over and over again. My client said, the dream that I have has me wanting to call him, wanting to talk to him and ask him, is he okay? Because generally speaking, that's what I've always done. And I've been that person in his life to support him and make sure that he's doing well. And so I kind of just heard her out. I listened to her and wanted to hear her thoughts about why she was doing what she was doing. And when I responded, I started with that. We do what we do because that's what we used to doing. If you had a pattern of being in a relationship with a person who was whack, who always needed you to uplift them, support them, check on them, be there for them, that's what you're going to continue to want to do, even when you're outside of the relationship, if you care about them. And that's okay, that's normal, but it doesn't mean that that's what you should be doing. I think we just have to be careful not to use buzzwords and themes and terms to support behaviors that do not serve us, okay? Yes, you may feel drawn to this person because of a pattern of behavior, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that your soul is tied to this other person's because you think about them, you dream about them, and you want the best for them. Sometimes we identify with things that just kind of allow us to remain unaccountable to our reality. And I feel like soul ties, or the concept or the idea of soul ties, can sometimes make us overthink a situation and under-evaluate the reality. So we have to be so careful, y'all. There is enough evidence in your life right now to determine or dictate whether a person should be a part of it. You don't have to look to some kind of esoteric, spiritual, existential crisis to figure out whether or not you should call somebody, or you should have sex with somebody, or you should be in a relationship with somebody. The history of the reality, the truth of what actually happened, it should give you enough information to allow you to make a sound decision about what's next for you. That does not mean, my love, that you won't miss them, that you won't think about them, and that you won't imagine how things could have, would have, or should have been. Those are separate things. Wishing, shoulda, woulda, couldas, all that stuff, those are real, but that doesn't mean that your soul is tied to them. It means that you're a human who had a connection in an experience that you ain't belong in, baby. That's all that means. So what should you do if you think you have a soul tie? What you do is you evaluate the reality. Spend time thinking about what your life was like when you were with that person. Was it good? Why are you no longer with them? Take time to remember what actually happened. Walk those steps again. Sometimes we just need a reminder of how or why things did not work out. And yes, there's such a thing as the one that got away, right? But that, even still, is based on a set or a series of choices that either you or the other person made. You haven't missed what's yours. I guess what I'm saying is, I just trust God. If we continue to picture ourselves in a place where we think we belong versus where we actually are, then we miss out on the blessings that already exist. We don't enjoy the blessings that already exist. And we long and yearn for things that will never be. Thinking that you are tied to another soul means that you are not where you belong. And is that true? If you find yourself in a relationship where you don't belong, deal with that reality. Because you don't know what's going to happen on the other side of you being honest about this current reality. So trust yourself. Trust God. Stop trying to superimpose yourself in a world that doesn't exist. Live your best life in this one and do the best you can. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.